The UFC designed new gloves, which came into effect in June. They started being used in the beginning of June at UFC 302 and have been used ever since. However, this weekend at UFC 309, for some reason, they're not going to be used. It could just be a New York State Commission thing, but the first person to report this was Ariel Helwani, and he was not given a specific reason as to why this is the case, so naturally a lot of conspiracy theories emerged afterwards. The one card John Bones Jones is on, and they use old gloves. Sounds fishy. Expect to see eye pokes, folks. That's kind of whack. How do you tell fighters this on fight week after they spent their whole camp with the others? Stipe is allowed to wear goggles, again referencing John Jones's eye pokes. Someone's gonna have to give more details regarding this because changing something this substantial a couple days before the fight makes no sense. He wants Jones to KO Stipe so bad. They want to give John every chance they can to poke Stipe in the eye. That's weird as F, and we getting KOs. One study showed that KOs have gone down since they started using the new gloves, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the new gloves.
Yeah. Some folks think the New York State Athletic Commission, the NYSAC, maybe they haven't approved those new gloves yet, and they have a very specific process, right, for approving any equipment. But then there's the fighter preference theory. Well, some fans think maybe John Jones just prefers the old gloves. Then there's this other one, the KO rate concerns. So some fans think that the new gloves might actually be leading to fewer knockouts, and they think the UFC might not be thrilled about that.
Fan commentary and theories are always interesting and entertaining to examine, but it's always great to get the fighters' perspectives on the matter as well, because they have experience with the new gloves and the old gloves. Some fighters weighed in on the situation, like UFC strawweight Vanessa Demopoulos. She'd be happy if this was a permanent change back to the old gloves. Thank goodness. The new gloves are scary. They're so thin at the knuckles, it's crazy. The new gloves weigh between 3 and 4.9 ounces, which is a reduction of 1 to 1.5 ounces. With regards to eye pokes, in Demopoulos' opinions, the new gloves didn't do anything for eye pokes, literally no difference at all. UFC bantamweight Song Yadong also seems to be happy if this was a permanent move, but there's no indication that it is a permanent move at all, but he says good news if it is a permanent thing. Damon Jackson, who'll be fighting Jim Miller on the card on Saturday, was confused because they gave him the gloves to test out, and he was thinking that they were different because he has already used the new gloves a couple months back, and he was confused why they switched back to the old ones. Josh Barnett also doesn't like the new gloves. He says the new gloves need to be changed a lot. Not a fan. He didn't elaborate as to why, but he got first-hand look at them when his fighter Victor Henry fought earlier this month in the UFC against Charles Jourdain. Those new gloves look raggedy for real, is the opinion of former UFC fighter Sajar Eubanks. UFC lightweight Jamie Malarkey also doesn't like the new gloves. He says hopefully the old ones stay, so he wants it to be a permanent move as well. So many fighters seem to like the old ones, but if you ask fans, it's all about the preference of one fighter. John Sexual Chocolate Jones gets what he wants. John Jones is clicking his heels. It's the Bones Show. He gets what he wants. With regards to the New York State Athletic Commission, the official New York State website says all gloves used in the New York Athletic Commission sanctioned event must be a brand, style, and weight approved by the commission. The following brands, styles, and weights are currently approved by the commission: Century Official Fight Gloves, Everlast Powerlock Fight Gloves, RDX, and official UFC Official Fight Glove 3858. The 3858 are the new official UFC gloves, which came into effect in June. So it doesn't seem like it's a New York State Athletic Commission issue, which is probably going to fuel more speculation and conspiracies as to why this change was made specifically for UFC 309 this weekend. Egyptian UFC heavyweight Hamdi Abdel Wahab will be taking on Jamal Pogues on February 1st in Saudi Arabia. Hamdi had a 2-year suspension for using PEDs, but can return next year and will return February 1 in Riyadh. Christian Rodriguez taking on Austin Bashi on January 11th. Bashi's making his UFC debut. He's a 10-0 prospect. That's the MO of Christian Rodriguez. He takes on undefeated prospects and he messes up the hype of a lot of them. Edson Barboza taking on Steve Garcia February 22nd. That's going to be an exciting striking matchup. Garcia has won 5 in a row by KO. Very impressive. If you can do that to Edson Barboza, that's extremely impressive. Doing that against a seasoned veteran like Edson Barboza. So interesting, fun, striking matchup February 22 in the featherweight division. Carlos Prates says he has been smoking since he's 12 years old. He has 8 cigarettes a day. And his lungs have held up so far. We'll see if that can continue as he progresses into the rankings. He's freshly minted into the rankings this week at number 13. Couple days away from Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Some people don't want to see it like Lerone Murphy. Can't come around to the fact this is happening. My child did hear it. Can somebody please cancel this, please?
Your kids are out here. Everyone's coming in to see you on Friday. What does it mean to have family with you?
It's still family's everything. But my kids, to my children, I'm nobody. But that night they're gonna find out their father's very special. So the night of the fight, they're gonna realize they better watch it next time they talk crap to me.
Fight Circus happening on the weekend. You got Mark Coleman on the card. You got Matt Brown on the card. They got Power Spit on the card, not Power Slap, Power Spit. Ha! Tuh. So they're doing some innovative stuff at Fight Circus. Aljamain Sterling thinks Movsar Evloev is on PEDs. He thinks it's just part of the culture and the region that he's from. We'll find out December 7th, UFC 310 in about a month, and I think it's going to be a competitive fight. It may not be the most exciting fight, but I think it's going to be high level. I think it's going to be competitive, and I think Movsar is going to win a decision. Sergio Pettis made his boxing debut Tuesday night against Mateo Papa, who's 8-0. They fought at 170 pounds, which is 35 pounds heavier than Sergio Pettis fights in MMA. It was a 4-round exhibition match, and since it's an exhibition match and there was no KO, it ended in a draw. Sergio Pettis was the Bellator Bantamweight champion, but then he lost the belt to Patchy Mix, and then after that he lost to Kyoji Horiguchi earlier this year via unanimous decision. Roberto Romero signs with the UFC and he's going to be fighting immediately. He's going to be fighting Saturday. He's going to be taking on David Onama on the prelims. The original fight was Onama against Lucas Almeida, but Almeida pulled out of the fight. Tough fight to take on just a few days' notice, but credit to Romero for doing so. He has an 8-3-1 record and was the number 4 ranked featherweight in Combate Americas. Where does Kevin Lee fit into South America?
We're going to be hosting exclusive training sessions with me in Colombia. I'm partnering with Fighters Retreat, and this is going to be a 7-day all-inclusive trip. First of all, I'm going to be hosting the entire event, and I'm going to teach you everything that I've learned about MMA over the last 12 years.